Hey everybody, welcome to my plan with me for the week of March 4th through the 10th, aka Comic-Con week, where they are having a bunch of Scream people. So I'm using this Scaredy Cat kit from Lynner Designs because I have to. So I did use this last year, but I'm using some different foil, and I mean, there's only so many Scream kits, so I'm really excited about this. I love the kit. For foil, I'm using pumpkin solids because I wanted to do orange hollow, but I kind of changed my mind last minute. And then I'm using the, I think it's burgundy is the color name, G Face foil pack from Lynner Designs, which was designed specifically for this kit. So we've got the ghost face underlays, and I really like the blood drips. I think those are fun. So I will just go ahead and get into the base now. Okay, getting started on the sidebar. I am marking the month as usual, which it is March, and all of the scripts in this spread, including this one, I did make. I found a Scream themed font, so I just really wanted everything to be in that font. So I was going to put an icon with this, but honestly, it's just not going to fit. So I am marking that it was the 25th anniversary of Planet Comic-Con, which, if you don't know, is Comic-Con that they do in Kansas City. And with the exception of a couple years during the pandemic, like when it got canceled and rescheduled, I have been going yearly since 2018, and I will typically go with my brother. So that is what we did this week. So that ghost face sticker is from Pink Diamond Planner Co. from like Kit Deco that I kept. And on Monday, the first thing I did was shower and shave. Then I went on a Target run. I got Starbucks while I was at Target, and then I cut some stickers when I got home that I had already printed. I think it was probably just leftover stuff from like when I was using my husband's computer when he was showering or something. But I wasn't able to like finish everything. So, yeah. So I am gonna go, like, I'm probably not gonna say where every single sticker is from this week, because I have a feeling I'm gonna run out of, like, time on talking about Comic-Con. So I'm just going to kind of say what I have done this week. And I may get a little bit ahead of myself. That's actually the goal. So anyway, the next thing I did on Monday is that I filmed a plan with me, and then my husband and I watched Star Trek Voyager, which I can't remember if I mentioned this. I think I might have, but we started that show back in like 2019, and I've seen it all, but he hasn't, and we've just kind of like bounced between that and other shows, so we're finally finishing it. And then I did watch a movie called The Killer. I mean, it was good, from what I remember, but I was kind of distracted because I was filming this base, and I just really wasn't like paying as much attention as I think the movie required. So it was fine. And then after that, I did watch Scream 1996, aka the first Scream, which is my favorite of all of them. So that's always a fun time. It is definitely the one I have seen the most by far, which makes sense with it being my favorite. But on Tuesday, the first thing I marked is that Instagram was down, and oh gosh, I just ripped that sticker. Whoops. Before I get into that, I did just want to say that sticker is from Carly Plans, which I do PR for Carly Plans. So if you use Laurel15 or put Laurel in the notes, you will get this freebie. And then if you use the code, you will get 15% off. And that was Font 5 Duo, but it will come in just a random font. So I was trying to do like PR stuff, but I couldn't get onto Instagram, so that was kind of frustrating. And then I did try on my outfit. I had ordered some stuff from Amazon to wear to see Olivia Rodrigo, which is what that countdown is for. I don't actually think I mentioned that. Because I didn't have anything that I really wanted to wear to the concert. So I tried it on so that I could kind of figure out like any changes I wanted to make, which I did end up making some changes later. But after that, I did some laundry. Oh gosh, this is really big. And after doing laundry, I did edit the stuff I had filmed the day before. So after editing, I watched Scream 2 and 3. So I was having what I call a stabathon this week, which if you've seen any of the Screams other than just the first one, you'll know why I call it that. But if not, essentially in the second Scream movie, they have like made a movie about what happened in Woodsboro in the first Scream movie. So it's like a movie within a movie. But the Stab movies are the Scream movies, except in the Scream universe. So it's a little meta, but that's my explanation of it. But because of the fact that there were going to be people from Scream at Comic-Con, I wanted to watch all the movies again, and I also wanted to, of course, use this kit. So after watching Scream 3, or probably actually while I was watching it, I organized some stickers, and then I started the TV show The Mick, which is a comedy show. It's pretty funny. I really like the lead actor in it, I cannot for the life of me remember her name, but she is Dee in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, if you've watched that. So I just kind of like watched it because she's in it, and I'm glad I decided to because it's really funny. I guess that was everything for Tuesday. So on Wednesday, I was really exhausted, but I didn't mark that. The first thing I did mark was that I went to physical therapy, and it was my last physical therapy appointment. So now I just kind of have to do exercises at home. So of course I went and got Starbucks to celebrate, as though I didn't get it every time, but you know, it's fine. It was celebratory Starbucks, so it was different. And then I got back and I printed and cut the like ghost face from Lynner Designs. It's this one. I will be putting it down here in a minute, but she had a freebie with that on it, and I bought a kit that was like a kit that came out back in September, because that was on her September freebie, so that I could get the printable file. And then I literally like erased all the other horror characters from the sampler and just printed them out with Ghostface on all of them. So yeah, I'm set for a while. I think it was like actually 100 of them, and then I like after I printed them and realized that, I was like, well, that's a bit excessive, but that's okay. I probably could have like left in some of the other horror characters, but it's all right. I will use them. It's just gonna take me a while. But after that, I had a jam sesh. Then I watched Scream 4, which I really like Scream 4. I meant to give my rankings of the movies like in this video, and I kind of forgot. Let me think about it for a second and see if I can like say what my rankings are. Okay, so from best to worst, my rankings are 1, 5, 4, 6, 2, 3, and 5 is just called Scream, but it came out in 2022. So that is my ranking. But I will say the only one that I really just like watch to get through, because I'm watching all of them, is Scream 3. I really don't like that one. But it's fine. It's part of the series, or I guess franchise. I don't know. So after I watched Scream 4, I did organize some stickers, and then I watched Scream 2022 or Scream 5, and then I watched Vanderpump Rules, and then I just marked that I was in so much pain because I was just having a really bad day with my pain at this point. So I did just like go lay down earlier than I would normally go to bed this day. So on Thursday, I was in even worse pain, just like severe pain when I woke up. And so I had a psychiatrist appointment, and that was just virtual, thank goodness. My psychiatrist actually is based in Kansas City, so I see him virtually. And then I took a bath because I really needed it for my sore body. I folded some clothes, and then I packed because I was going to be leaving the next day. So I I did just want to go ahead and get ready because I went next to a vineyard with my friend Sarah, and we had a really fun time. It was just good to catch up, and it's just so cool that we live close enough that we can just do that on a random day now. So that was really fun. I did drive home. It's probably like an hour-ish from that winery to get back to my house. And then I had started watching Scream 6 before, so I did just finish it at that point. On Friday, I did wake up pretty early so that I could like finish packing and make sure I was awake to drive, because I was driving my brother and I to Kansas City, which is about a 6-hour drive from where I live, like including stops and stuff. So I drove us there, which of course took a good chunk of the day. And then we checked in at our Airbnb, and we did go for dinner at my favorite pho place. It's called Pho Saigon, and it's actually over in Kansas. It's not in like Kansas City, but it is in Overland Park, Kansas. If you're ever in that area, I highly recommend it. It's a, oh, crap, I put this on the wrong side. I'm just gonna leave it. So yeah, that place is probably about 20 minutes from like Kansas City, but it's definitely well worth it. There is a good place downtown as well called Vietnam Cafe, I believe. And I really like that place too, but I hate parking downtown. I cannot parallel park, so it's like a hard no for me when I'm the driver. So then we did go to Hy-Vee because there were a few things that I wanted to see if I could find that they have in Kansas City, but like I can't get where I live now. And then I took a shower and we watched the like Sonic the Hedgehog live action movie, which my brother had not seen, so he loved it. Growing up, he played Sonic all the time, and I mostly just watched. Once I got like a DS, I played Sonic myself, but I watched him play it for years. So yeah, he was just like loving it so much. It was really fun to see him enjoy himself so much. And then I listened to Eternal Sunshine, Ariana Grande's new album, before bed. And I am still kind of like listening and figuring out what my favorite songs are, but so far I am loving it. And then I did a little bit of drawing in bed as well. Oh, I was gonna put the 2020. I don't like how that looks. I'm just gonna leave it out. I know it's the 5th one. Then Saturday was like the main event of the week. It was Comic-Con day. So we got up pretty early. I got ready. Since I had showered the night before, it was a little bit easier, but I like did my makeup and got dressed. I had a bunch of Ghostface stuff I was wearing, and I have like a little Ghostface purse too. So I got all ready, and then I did drive us. So just real quick, I do want to say where the Ghostface stickers are from since I have so many. So that one is from Carly Plans, and you can get it in other colors. That's from Mick Plans, but it was on like a Friday the 13th sampler, SPC, and then I think I already said that's Lynner Designs, and then that is Joy of Planning. So once I drove us there and we got to Comic-Con, we had to wait in line to get our wristbands because last year, since I lived in Kansas City, I was able to go to a comic book store the Thursday before and get our wristband ahead of time, but we didn't, like, we couldn't afford to just come early just for that. So we had to wait in line, and the line was like a block over from the entrance. Like, it was in this big convention building, and the entrance is about halfway between like the ends of the building. So the line like went all the way to the end of the building, and then wrapped around the side, and then on the other side we were about halfway around the other side. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it was a long line. So when we got in, I did go ahead and go over to the merch place for like the Planet Comic-Con merch, because our tickets came with free like pins for the 25th anniversary. So I did want to pick those up. And then I also bought like a tote bag, which came with a few things in it, because I wanted to have a bag, because my purse was pretty small. So that was definitely helpful. And then my brother was getting a comic book signed while I was doing that. He actually ended up having to go to the ATM, so I kind of like met him over there, but I at least got my stuff out of the way as far as the pins. So after that, we did go over to the photo op area, because the huge reason that I was like, I have to go to this Comic-Con was they announced back in, I want to say it was November, that Jamie Kennedy, Skeet Ulrich, and Matthew Lillard, as well as Nev Campbell, were going to be there, which is, if you've seen Scream but you just don't know the actors' names, it's Sydney, Randy, Billy, and Stu from the first movie, because they're not all in the other ones. So they were all going to be there. Now, Nev Campbell did end up canceling, which I was pretty salty about at the time. But I had a picture, like I had a photo op scheduled with Nev Campbell, like all four of them, I guess I should say. I'm not going to repeat all their names. But when Nev canceled, I was not able to get a photo with the remaining three. So I just did the killer duo. So I got Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich, and that was amazing. So let me just back up a second. So my brother and I got in line. I've like half ruined the sticker, but I'm just gonna go with it. We got in line. My brother was not gonna be in the picture with me, but he was like gonna hold our stuff and be there for like moral support, because I was kind of freaking out. So we were just waiting in line. It was kind of a mess figuring out where to go, but we did figure it out. And when you get closer to getting the photo op taken, you are kind of behind this like curtained area, where they have another curtained area where the actual photos are, but we were behind the first curtained area, and just waiting in line. And my brother was like, "Oh, that's Jamie Kennedy." And I was like, "Wait a second, what?" He's like, "Oh yeah, he's walking over there." And I saw him. He was just like, I think he had walked out of whatever booth he was doing photos in, and he was just like walking back to another room all by himself with no security. I was like, well, okay. But that was like really cool, because I had wanted a picture with him pretty badly, like with him with the other two, but I couldn't afford to get like a picture with him by himself. So it was really cool to just like see him like that. That was a nice surprise. And then we did get up to where I was taking the photo, and I was just like so excited. It happened really fast because they're getting people in and out really quickly since there were so many people, but When I walked in, Skeet was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And, just like really friendly. And then, I got my picture. I had my arm around Skeet, which I was like fangirling about. And then I had my arm in front of Matthew Lillard because I wanted my ghost face tattoo to show, which it kind of shows in my picture, but like you can see half of it, but I know it's there. As I was leaving, like after I got the photo taken, Matt was just like, "Oh, it was so nice to meet you." And I was like, "Oh." like I know it was obviously a very short interaction, but just like them being really nice and stuff made me really happy because you just never know what's going to happen when you meet a celebrity. Like, some of them are really ungrateful, and they definitely were not ungrateful. So, it just really made my day because, that was like the whole reason that I drove all the way back to Kansas City to go to Comic-Con. So, yeah. So it was a really good time. And my brother and I kind of tried to go around and do something else. I think we were looking at food, or I'm not 100% sure, but it was just so chaotic. There were so many more people than there usually are. I think they said attendance was up by about 20%, so there were about 60,000 people there, which is just absolutely wild. It was really hard to just even like walk around. So we had decided to wait to get my digital download. Like, I had my photo and everything, but the digital download is a whole separate thing, which I'll spare you the rant, but there's a more efficient way to do it than the way that they did it. So essentially we got told by multiple workers like to go one place or the other, and none of them were correct. So eventually a worker just like shoved us in a line, like not literally physically shoved us, but was just like, "Go here," and like put us in between other people. Yeah, they had told us to like wait to get the digital download because it would be like quicker if we waited, but we really should have just done it immediately because we ended up waiting a lot longer. But I got my digital download, got that all taken care of, and then my brother did go get like another signing. He just had like one more comic book artist he wanted to sign something for him, and then we had just like a little bit of food to make sure we were able to make it until dinner time. Then we went to the Scream panel. So unfortunately this was the only panel we got to go to, and if you've been to Comic-Cons before, like a lot of like the panels are really fun if you can go to them, but it was just so chaotic, and like because of the amount of people that were there, in order to do just like the things that we were there to do, like my photo op, we really just couldn't do the panels other than that. But we did get to go to the Scream panel, which was our like must see, of course. So the people in the panel were Matthew Lillard, Skeet Ulrich, Jamie Kennedy, Melissa Barrera, who was in Scream 5 and 6, and then Dermot Mulroney, I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, who was in Scream 6. So it was all of them, and they were primarily just taking questions because I think their like signings and photographs just took so long because they were almost 10 minutes late to the panel. So it was really fun just to hear like all of the different experiences, because like Matt, Skeet, and Jamie were in the first movie. Jamie was in like the first couple movies, but the others came into the franchise way, way later. So it was just really interesting to hear kind of like perspectives of people that were in varying parts of that franchise. And like they kind of asked questions about like, how did you approach this? you know, coming into something that was like a horror comedy, which was not really quite like a thing at that time. And it was funny because Matthew Lillard didn't, I don't remember his answer, but Skeet was like, well, I just kind of fed off of Matt because he said he was like, you know, studying his lines and all of that and his character, and he's just like, you know, I'm this like psychopath, I'm a serial killer, all this stuff. Like, he wasn't thinking about the fact that there was a comedic part of it until he got on set, and he was like, oh yeah, like, this is not all like serious. So that kind of took me by surprise, but I mean, with it being something fairly new, I guess it makes sense when you think about it. So what like Dermot and Melissa were saying were just things like, well, you know, we already knew like what we were supposed to do. It was just about like making sure that we emulated things in a way that like did justice to this huge franchise that fans love so much. So, you know, it makes sense. Like, it's easier to come into, like, in some ways, I suppose. From what they were saying, it's easier to come into it, like, knowing what you're supposed to do versus, like, building something. But I'm sure it's challenging, especially with something that is so, like, intensely, like, loved by its fans. So yeah, it was just a really good time. I loved hearing them talk about everything. I really wish I could remember all of it, but at least at the moment, I'm kind of like drawing a blank on some of it. So I just remembered one more thing. The funny thing was, you know, I mentioned like how close I was to Matt and Skeet, and you know, I'm in a picture with them. I was literally right by them. You know, I had my hand around one of them, you know, but when we were in the panel, the two of them were like walking around at different time periods with the mic and like taking questions in the crowd, not just like taking questions in line like they will typically do at the panel at Comic-Con. So that was just really fun. And then when Matt got like close to where we were, I was like, oh my gosh, he's right there. And then I thought about it and I was like, wow, Laurel, you were literally like right up against him, but okay. So good to know I can like still fangirl even though I got a photo with him. But he was so funny. At the very end, he like said something in Shaggy's voice, but yeah, he was just cracking me up with the stuff he was saying. And there was, of course, a camera person following him around so that we could see on the screens, like if you weren't near where he was. And he was like, I feel, you know, this just feels weird. There's someone following me. So he started like running, and the camera person was chasing him, which again was just really funny. And my brother was like, I feel so bad for the camera person, but I mean, I was like, but he did it for the fans because it was entertaining. So yeah, it was a really, really good time. They just, from everything they said, it sounds like the original cast is kind of like a family type environment. And they just seemed like all of them really, really grateful for their fans and everything. So that was really cool because, again, you know, it can be disappointing when you meet celebrities in some cases. So I'm really glad that that was not the case for this. So now I'm behind, but we did do some shopping after that. We went back up to like the floor where everything's going on, and I like to get most of my wall decor and stuff from Comic-Con because I just really like to support like smaller artists. Also, they have just some really cool nerd stuff that I don't really find a lot of other places. So I got stuff from a couple different places. One of the places I got some like Digimon and Pikmin art from, and then the other place I got a Zelda poster, and also, well, I guess I should say Link from Zelda. And then also I got a poster from, oh gosh, this was the wrong way. Not from, but themed after the movie Halloween. And I was like going back and forth on if I should get the, like, what I should get and stuff. And the person at that booth like gave me a really good deal. And I was just like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna take it. I wasn't like trying to hackle. I was just trying to decide what I wanted to do, but it worked out. So, gosh. Like, if being indecisive is how you negotiate, then, well, I'm great at it, but oh gosh, this label is so messed up. So after that, we did go back to our Airbnb and we got some Providence pizza, which my husband and I used to get all the time when we lived in KC. Because they have vegan cheese and gluten-free crust, so it's really easy for me to eat there. But there's really nothing like that near where I live now, so it was really exciting to have that again. And then my brother and I decided to watch the Harley Quinn TV show on Max because he said it was really funny, and he was like wanting to start a rewatch because he's not watched the most recent 2 seasons, so we started that, and that was really funny. It's TVMA, so it's definitely not for kids, but I am enjoying it. And then I looked because I was in so much pain and realized we had walked almost 5 miles. So that was wild because that is not the normal level of activity for me. So the next day was Mario Day because it's March 10th, and then we did get up kind of early. I got up at 9, but it felt like 8 because of daylight savings, so that was kind of unfortunate that it happened on this weekend, but that's just how it is. I just put the everything hurts because it really did. It was so bad. And then I packed. I was just kind of like running through things in my head and was like, I feel like I forgot something when I went to the store the other day, like when I went to the grocery store. Like, is there something I'm forgetting to pick up in KC? Because I just felt like I was missing something. And then I thought about it a little bit longer and I realized I was just sad about leaving. So yeah. It was my home for a really long time, so it was just kind of hard to leave, but it was really, really good to be there. So on the way back, we did get Q39, which is my favorite barbecue place in Kansas City. We went to the original location, which is on 39th Street, hence the name. And then I drove us home. When I got home, my dogs were super, super excited to see me. And then my brother just went ahead and headed home back to Illinois. So I did talk to my husband all about everything that we had done that weekend. Then my husband and I did watch Harley Quinn. I just restarted it because I'd only seen a few episodes. And I played some Dreamlight Valley and then went to bed early. So I'm going to go ahead and stop, put this in my planner, and I'll show you the final spread. Okay, so this is everything in full. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.